In this video, let us talk about the short run and the long run costs, right? So, in the long run, what happens is that the firm has time to change all its inputs, right? While in the short run, it doesn't have. So, in the long run, let me just write few points and I'll give you the numerical example. In the long run, firms have time to vary the amount of inputs as much as necessary. As much as necessary, right? So, um, in the short run, one of the input at least is considered to be fixed. So, in the short run, the amount of at least one input is considered to be fixed. For example, you may vary labor in the short run, but you may not be able to vary capital in the short run. For example, um, you might be working in a building, right? So if you just want to change a building in the short run, it is difficult. You can vary the amount of labor in the short run, but it is difficult to change the amount of the building in the short. So building is also like a capital, your physical capital. So you may not be able to change the building easily. But in the long run, you can change the building as well. So there is no problem with that. And one more thing, which is an important point, and which we will be showing using a numerical example also. Short run costs are always higher or equal, but never lower than the long run costs. So it is possible that at some point your short run costs and the long run costs might touch each other, but we'll be able to show that the long run costs are always lower than the short run costs, right? So let's look at one example. So you have output, which is the function of inputs Z1 and Z2. Let's say this is what my production function is, root of Z1, Z2. Suppose the amount of the second input is fixed. Amount of Z2 is fixed at, let's say, k units. in the short run. So in place of Z2, I can write what? I can write K. In place of Z2, I can write K. I can also write this as this, right? So what is the amount of Z1 which is required in order to produce the amount of or given amount of output? So the amount of Z1, that is input 1, required to produce a given amount of output Y. So what will that be? Z1 would be equal to Y square by K. It is like this. Okay. So how do I write my cost function? I'm using two inputs, Z1, Z2. So guys, this is not the cost function, this is an objective function of the cost minimization. So anyways, Z1 and Z2 are two inputs. The per unit price of Z1 is W1. Per unit price of Z2 is W2. So it is W1 Z1 plus W2 Z2. In place of Z1, I can write this Y square by K. And in place of Z2, I can write just this. Sorry, in place of Z2, I can just write this guy, K. I'm so sorry. That is what my cost function is. That is what my cost function is. Or in fact, short run total cost function, right? Short run total cost function. So as you guys could see easily, that this short run total cost function is quadratic in Y, right? This is a quadratic function in Y. Keep this thing in head. Keep this thing in head, right? So um, if you just want to show this, so you have output out here, you have cost out here. So if Y is 0, your total cost is W2K, right? This is what my short run total cost function looks like, right? It's a parabola. Uh, okay, keep this thing in head. I'll be comparing this with a long run total cost function. Fair enough. Now just look at the long run total cost function. So although we have done this in the earlier recording also, but let's just do this with a little change in the production function. I think we have done it with the what, Q1 Q2 earlier. Let's talk about with the root of Z1 Z2 this time, and so that you understand what's going on. So in the long run, you can change any amount of inputs. So I want to minimize my expenditure, which is W1 Z1 plus W2 Z2, subject to Y equals to Z1 to the power half, Z2 to the power half. So inputs are your all inputs are variable. Yeah. So you set up the Lagrange on W1 Z1. Hmm? How many partial derivatives I'm going to find out? Three. One for each variable and one for the constraint. Del L by del Z1 is W1. minus lambda. So this is going to be what? This is root of z2 whole upon 2 root z1 equals to 0. Del L by del z2 is w2 minus lambda, right? Root of z1 whole upon 2 root of z2. And del L by del lambda is like this. So this is expression 1, expression 2, and equation 3. So you can divide first by second. You'll be getting what? W1 by W2 equals to root of Z2 whole upon 2 root of Z1 into, sorry, I mean divided by root of Z1 upon 2 root of Z2. So I can just write this as like this. So this 2 will get cancelled out. And you will have Z2 upon Z1. Fair enough. So I have Z2 here. So it is W1 by W2 Z1. And I can substitute this Z2 back into the constraint. So in place of Z2, I can write this W1 by W2 Z1 equals to 0. So what do you have, beta? Y is equal to Z1 root of W1 by W2. So Z1 is root of W2 by W1 Y. That is what your conditional input demand function for good one. Similarly, what is going to be your Z2? Beta Z2 you have written W1 by W2 Z1. So Z2 star is W1 by W2 Z1. That means W1 by W2 in place of Z1. So you have what? Root of W1 by W2 Y. Root of W1 by W2 Y. So you have the conditional input demand for both Z1 and Z2. You have conditional input demand for both Z1 and Z2. So your total cost function is going to look like this. W1 root of W2 whole upon root of W1 Y. W2 in place of Z1 or Z2 you will be writing root of W1 upon root of W2 Y. So beta this will become root of W1 W2 Y, root of W1 W2 Y. So it is 2Y root of W1 2y root of W1 W2. So this is what my long run total cost function is. This is what my long run total cost function is. And the beauty is, I mean, as for this example at least, that this long run total cost function is a linear function of y. Is a linear function of y. So when y is 0, your long run total cost function is 0. So if you're not producing anything, you do not have any cost in the long run. in the long run. So you have this thing as the long run total cost function, and this thing as the short run total cost function, right? So your long run total cost function is a linear function of y, but the short run total cost function is a quadratic function of y. So this is the way you solve for the long run and the short run total cost function, right? Thank you, beta. We'll take the discussion further in the next class.